Hey beautiful! If this is your first time here, I'm an intuitive tarot oracle reader. Now my dear, I hope you're having an amazing day and everything is going fine with you. If today's not the best day, I'm sending you tons and tons and tons of positive energy, and I hope everything will be well soon. Now guys, today I'm back after a very long time. I think I haven't recorded a reading like in 4 or 5 days. And the reason for that is because I had to take some days off for myself to recharge. But yeah, now I'm better than ever and I'm back for you guys. And today's reading is a future spouse reading, which was actually inspired by a fellow dear tarot reader here on YouTube. I saw her video recommendation and I thought it's a great topic. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure to link the video down in the description box, the source, if you would like to also check out her video. And today it's all about your future spouse and how different are you from their previous partners. So we're gonna see what's different about you and, in comparison to their last partner or just in general to their previous partners. So let's see, my dear. Let's first get you guys a pile, a card for each pile to select from. All right, so pile 1 is gonna be this beautiful card. Let me show you guys. Spend time with friends. This is pile 1. By the way, they're literally like reading cards. Oh my goodness. Let me show you. The card fell. This is so cute. Look at that. So this is gonna be pile 1. And pile 2 is gonna be sync with the moon. And pile 3 is meditate. All right. Now let me make sure you guys can see all the cards. So my dear, this is gonna be pile 1, this is pile 2, and this is gonna be pile 3. So as always, my dear, please feel free to pause the video, or you can also meditate on the cards if you feel like you need a little bit more time to choose. You will find all the timestamps in the description box, but of course also in the comment section. And if you would like to get further information regarding a personal reading with me, you can of course feel free to email me. Lastly, my dear, please keep in mind that this is a general reading, so not everything may resonate with you. But yeah, having said that, let's begin. Hey pal 1, welcome to your reading, my dear. Now let's see, how different are you from your future spouse's previous partners? What's gonna be different about you guys' relationship, about you? Let's see, let's see. Let's give it one more shuffle for my dear pile 1. How different are you from their previous partners? All right, one last time for my dear pile 1, and that's enough. So let's see. For my dear pile 1, we have the star card. Wow, that's a great start. For my dear pile 1, how different are you from their previous partners? We have the Hierophant. Oh my goodness. All right. The 3 of Pentacles. The Knight of Cups. Let me make sure that you can see them all well. All right. For my dear pile 1. Okay, so we have the Tower. We have the Queen of Wands. 2 more cards. The Knight of Swords and one last card, please. All right. And the King of Pentacles here. At the back of the deck, wow, look at that. We have the 2 of Cups. That's a great general energy. Now let me make sure everything is visible. All right, yeah. So let's first start with the tarot. Later on, I will get you guys some oracle cards as well. So first of all, I need to talk about the general energy here at the back of the deck, which is the 2 of Cups. when I read, it really depends on my intuition, you know, where I'm starting. And for some reason, I'm really being drawn towards like the overall energy now. The Two of Cups is really dominating the energy, and really simply said, my dear, and I genuinely mean it the way I'm saying it. How are you going to be different from their previous partners? It's the love you share. The amount of love you give to this person. This is going to be very different from their previous partners. Of course, you know, when we get into a relationship with someone, or I mean, not always, of course, right? People are different, but most of the time people feel something towards the person and then they come together in a relationship. I feel like this person has had some previous relationships in which the other person didn't really show them that much affection or even love. It feels like a very shallow connection. It could be the case that their previous partners were in their life because of like a reason. It could be material, with the King of Pentacles being here. It could even be with the Star. Let's say your future spouse is known for something, or in a certain community, you know, they are popular in one way or another, and therefore these people are not really there for your future spouse, but more so of, you know, what they stand for, or their status, or what they have. And it's very interesting because, once again, with the Two of Cups being here, this may sound really weird. Like, what's gonna be different about you and their previous partners? The fact that you're gonna, like, genuinely love them. But just because people are in a relationship doesn't mean that they are, you know, sharing a genuine connection. We never know a person's intention or motivation to be in a connection, right? And if I'm looking into this person's energy, I can definitely say that for them, it has been the case that their previous partners, they weren't really there for them, but more so for maybe what they have. And let me also tell you that something very different about you guys' relationship is also going to be, you guys are of course going to be lovers, but the Three of Pentacles here is really giving me friend vibes as well. So besides being lovers, you guys are also going to share a beautiful friendship. Now this is not only towards your future spouse, but it could also be towards the viewer watching, someone watching this right now. Maybe you as well. For some, you may have had relationships in which you didn't really have this dynamic. Being lovers, but at the same time, you know, having a best friend as a partner, or sharing a great friendship with them. So for some of you guys, this could also be something different that you actually gonna, yeah, experience with your future spouse. But that's coming through for me for sure, that the difference between their and even your previous partners as well is that you guys are also going to share a very beautiful friendship, which is very transparent. This is not the kind of relationships in which, let's say, if something is bothering you, you're going to go to your best friend and talk about it, or you're going to ask a parent, or, you know, whatever it may be. No, this is a very transparent one, which means with the Knight of Swords being here and the Three of Pentacles, if there is something bothering you, whether it has something to do with this relationship or even not, you're going to communicate with this person. So you guys are going to have great communication as well, which once again, I do feel like this person's previous partners lacked. Not because they weren't able to do so, it's more so their partners. Their previous partners, the exes, they weren't really able to communicate well. Because once again, I feel like for some reason there is this energy here of them not being 100% committed to this person, but more so to certain ideas or visions they may have had, you know, like wishes they thought they could come closer to when they are in a relationship with them, as an example. So there's something very disconnected about the relationship that they had with their previous partners. And the disconnect is very simply explained. It's the heart space. And this is why the Two of Cups, once again, from the beginning on, was dominating the energy so much. Because it's pretty visible to me that the relationships they had were not really like heart space centered, but more so a lot of like ego motivation, you know? Yeah. And what's also very interesting is you're going to be so different from their previous partner because you are someone who's much more active. You know, you're going to put so much effort and energy into making this relationship work out, and your future spouse may have experienced in the past that they were like literally the only one who was putting effort into the relationship, who was bringing the motivation, the action, who was kind of moving it, you know, and their previous partners were more so just passively, you know, sitting around and not really that invested in it because they weren't really there for them, but more so for other things. So they may have not really cared about an emotional connection with them, as an example. So when you come around, you actually are going to show them such a different perspective or such a different dynamic, because you are going to be there for them and you're going to show them that you genuinely care for who they are. And the love you have for them, you're not going to be scared to show it to them. You're going to come off as the Queen of Wands, no matter your gender, it doesn't matter. We're just talking here energy. Tarot is only about energy always. And with the Queen of Wands being here, you're going to show them how a relationship can also work out, or how a relationship dynamic can also look like, better to say. That a relationship means feeling passionate for each other, but also respecting each other and giving each other the affection and showing how much you admire the other person, you care about them. I feel like this energy was really lacking in their previous partners, and it's coming through. Another thing I can say is you guys are going to be pretty serious with each other, with the Hierophant and the Queen of Wands being here. This could have been something that they have lacked in their previous connections, that this serious energy wasn't really there. I mean, I can definitely see why, because those people weren't, once again, actually serious about them, but more so about, you know, whatever motivation was there for them to come into this relationship, whether it was maybe a certain like financial motivation with the King of Pentacles being here that maybe your future spouse has, you know, or once again some kind of a fame or opportunity, but they weren't really there for the commitment with your spouse. So yeah, something very different about you guys is going to be the fact like your future spouse is going to feel how committed you are and serious you are. Let me see. Yeah, look at this. This is actually a very beautiful comparison here. We have the Star card and we have the Tower card, right, in combination. What I'm feeling is that, okay, yeah, with their previous partners, your future spouse has always felt like falling and not really, or not being sure whether there's anything gonna, you know, like get them or catch them, catch them when they fall. It's kind of like, look at this, the Tower card. This person's gonna fall, right? And they don't know whether they're gonna be rescued or, you know, whether they're gonna fall in here. this is kind of how this person has had some negative experiences with relationships. There is no doubt about that. And in the past, it was really insecure. Like the relationships, they weren't really that transparent and genuine. And with you guys, you're coming off as the star energy, and the star energy is such a hopeful and inspiring card, and that's so different when we look into the energy, when we compare how they were or how they felt with their previous relationships and then with you. Yeah, let me get you guys some oracle cards. I would like to look a little bit more into this. For my dear pile 1, let's see. Okay. How different are you from their previous partners? All right. Let's see. One card, please, for my dear pile 1. Okay. Too many cards. Okay. We have the Be Humble card. Interesting. Let's get you guys also another oracle card from the Archetype Oracle for my dear pile 1. One card, please. One card. One more shuffle. All right. For my dear pile 1, let's see. Okay, one card fell. And we have the Student Archetype. Yeah. All right. What I'm seeing, my dear, is your relationship with each other is going to be very grounded. Very grounded and earthy, kind of. And this is really emphasizing to me the fact that the commitment is going to be undeniable. Let me explain to you guys how a previous relationship of them may have looked like, so you guys understand what this energy is all about and what I mean with it. So it could have been the case that your future spouse, let's say in their previous relationship or in their previous relationships in general, when they dated someone and they were in a relationship with them, it wasn't really that obvious whether this is gonna be a relationship for the long run or whether it's just a moment, like a relationship for the moment, just something, you know, to like have fun and just to get to know someone else and see maybe it will work out, maybe it won't work out. And of course, everyone can decide for themselves how they want to go about relationships. It's their own free will. With you guys, it's gonna be different. When you guys are coming together, you're gonna let the other person know what it is that you're looking for. So no like playing around or seeing where it's going. No, you're gonna be straightforward, telling them, as an example, I'm looking for a relationship which is stable. Let me know whether this is something you're also looking for, because I don't want to settle for anything less, or I don't want to settle for a relationship in which I don't know whether I can have a future, you know, with this partner or not. I need to make sure that, as an example, you want children as well, or you want something committed as well. So as I said, pretty transparent, and you're just gonna let each other know, and this is gonna be a huge difference here when we talk about how they have, you know, been with their previous ones. It's just putting everything on the table and just complete clarity from the beginning. What I'm also seeing is that this person could have been with people who were ignorant in some ways, in which they thought they knew everything better and they just didn't want to listen, you know, they just had their own mind. Because what I'm feeling is, in comparison to you, you're coming off as the student archetype, and the student archetype is all about someone who's open-minded, someone who's always open for learning more, because life is a, lifelong lesson, right? So we are never really at the goal. Like, there's always more to learn, and this is how you're coming off. You really appreciate having a partner who can teach you things, or whose wisdom, you know, you can profit off. And this is something, by the way, they also gonna really admire about you, that you are someone who's so open for your partner. And I feel like they may have had relationships in which this was not the case. The partner was all about themselves, or, well, not all about themselves. Their partner was all about, you know, things that they knew about life, and they just didn't want to hear anything else. They were just set in their own ways and not really that, yeah, open for, let's say, your future spouse advising something or recommending them something, right? Yeah. But overall, this is a great energy, pal one. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I feel like this is a very high vibrational energy here, and I feel very good, actually. You know, sometimes it really depends. After a reading, I feel like very neutral, as if nothing may have happened. Sometimes totally drained because of the energies, and other times uplifted. And with you guys, I feel very, very uplifted. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, pal one, please feel free to let me know how you feel about this reading. And if there's something you would like to share, definitely feel free to do so. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, if you subscribed, don't forget to hit the bell, because otherwise you will not know when I upload new pick a card or even candle wax reading. Also, my dear, if you would like to get further information regarding a personal reading with me, you can of course feel free to email me. Lastly, my dear, if you would like to connect with me more on Instagram, my channel's Instagram account is in the description box down below, and of course I invite you there as well. But yeah, my dear pal one, take care, my loves. Hey pal two, welcome to your reading, my dear. Now let's see. How different are you from your future spouse's previous partners? So first of all, my dear, we're going to start off with some tarot, and later on we will also get you guys some oracle cards. So let's give you 2 shuffles. For my dear pile 2, how different are you from their previous partners? One last time, please, for my dear pile 2. All right, that's enough. So let's see. For my dear pile 2. All right, so we have the Temperance card here. We got the Magician. Let's continue for my dear pile 2. Oh my goodness, too many cards. How different are you from your future spouse's previous partners? Look at this, the Lover card. That's beautiful. For my dear pile 2. The World card, great. Let's see the Tower card. For my dear pile 2. Oh my goodness, you also got the 2 of Cups. Wow, you got the 2 of Cups and the Lovers card. The King of Pentacles here. And one last card, please, for my dear pile 1. I'm sorry, pile 2. Let's see, too many cards. Only 1 card, please, for my dear pile 2. All right, okay. And we have the Knight of Pentacles here. At the back of the deck, my dear, we have the 7 of Cups. Now, let me make sure you can see all the cards, but it looks good. So, my dear pile 2. First of all, what I can say is that some of you guys could have been drawn to pile 1 as well. If this is the case, then definitely feel free to watch it. First of all, let me start with that. This is a very strong message, and it's coming through in many different cards. I feel like for some of you guys, this is gonna be like your future spouse. It's gonna be a very significant person in your life. Okay, of course our spouse is like very important, but that's not what I mean. I'm looking into this energetically. These are high connections, okay, high level connections. So it could be the case that your future spouse is actually your soulmate, as an example, that you're gonna marry. Because we don't necessarily marry our soulmates, right? We may meet them, but that doesn't mean that we also like come together with them. But with you guys, I see this coming through for sure. Because yeah, energies, yeah, it's coming through here. So the first message that I'm seeing is the Two of Cups is really dominating the energy of your spirit, all right? As I have said one time in the past, sometimes certain cards, they dominate the spread differently. And with you guys, the Two of Cups is really coming through big time here. And I am being really drawn to the illustration right now, more so than the actual meaning of the card. And as you can see, there are two people here who are pretty different if we look at their appearance. Obviously, you can see, you know, not only in the, how do you say it, in the clothes and attire, but also as an example in their skin color. And it just looks like they're coming from different worlds, which is also a little bit, you know, emphasized here through these two different cups. What I'm seeing for you, my dear, is that one thing that's going to be different from you and their previous partners is your background. There is something about you which is really different from people they may have dated so far. It could either be you are very different from the people they have dated, or you are actually also different from your future spouse, or maybe even both, right? So I am seeing this definitely a lot in the appearance. You guys could have different backgrounds, could be from different countries, ethnicities, nationalities. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's like across the world. Of course, the world card is here, it could mean that as well. But it can also be like within the same city, you guys are from two different ethnicities or from two different backgrounds. This does feel more so ethnicity-wise than, let's say, financial-wise, because if we talk about background differences, we can also look at the financial aspect, right? For you guys, this does feel more so when it comes to your guys' like life, where you come from. And what I really like about this spread is that there is so much balance energetically in here, that even though, as an example, there may be some differences, which some people always think differences mean like trouble, which doesn't necessarily like needs to be true. People can make everything happen. And although there may be some differences about you guys, it's not in your way. You have the Temperance card, which is balancing the Tower card out, and there are some cards who can, for me, energetically balance a certain energy out. And it's for sure the Temperance card in connection with the Tower card. So no matter where you guys come from, what differences you share in your life, you are being represented through the Temperance card, which is all about balance. And actually, for me, when I think about it, is this dynamic of the feminine energy and the masculine energy. You know, in a way, yin yang, right? That two opposite energies, in no matter what way they manifest, they are harmonizing themselves out. And it's the same with you guys. One thing I can say for sure is that in their previous partnerships, they have not had a lot of harmony. I feel like, especially in the last one, it could be the case. There was a lot of fighting. I'm hearing that, yeah, and the Tower card is also emphasizing this. A lot of fighting for some way. Yeah, for some reason. So they're gonna see you as someone who's not there for drama. Honestly, I feel like they may have had some relationships in which their partner was all about like unnecessarily arguing, you know, and just putting their energy into a lot of unnecessary things. with you, you are definitely someone who understands how precious energy is, and that not everything in our life actually deserves our energy. And you would rather, as an example, have a great night with your future spouse than pick up small things, that you can like argue about. And maybe you're watching this and you're like, of course, that's the right thing to do. But I see that in their previous connections, they have had some people who were not thinking that way. And yeah, we're just overall honestly insecure with themselves. They have had relationships for sure with people who were so insecure within themselves that it also triggered a lot in their relationship, and it brought it forward. So it could be the case that they have had people in their life as a partner who were extremely jealous because they thought like every, let's say as an example, woman or man that crossed streets with your future spouse was a threat because they may have had something that they didn't have, or yeah, they were just not really centered within themselves. Very jealous energy here. And this has also like got on the nerves of your future spouse for sure, because not only were they jealous, but they also didn't had any trust in your future spouse. And the one of the most important things if we talk about relationships or being in a relationship with someone is trust, right? We should be able to trust each other. And this is something, especially their previous relationship for some reasons coming through big time here. Their partner, or their ex-partner better to say, was not able to do so. And if we compare this with you, it's like a complete different thing. You guys, the way you approach this relationship with your future spouse is all about trust. It's all about understanding each other, knowing where the other person comes from, and really giving the other person space, not suffocating each other, which in their previous relationship could have been a big deal. They could have been like very clingy towards your future spouse. But once again, it's really this trust, and your future spouse is gonna love how secure you are within yourself. That doesn't mean that, I think it's very natural, maybe to an extent at least, to maybe have certain insecurities when it comes to our nowadays world. However, it's not like you are self-sabotaging yourself because of them. Or if you are right now on a self-love journey and you are not there yet, what I can see is that at least at the time you will be with your future spouse, you will have overcome that. You will not self-sabotage yourself or the relationships that you have, whether they are romantically or not, because of the insecurities that you have. All right? This is something that I can see here for sure. There is also something very inspiring about you. Yeah. What they also love about you, your future spouse, once again, and which is really different from their previous partner, is the amount of grounding energy that you have within yourself. As an example, if something happens, it's not gonna just knock you off of your feet. You are really strong when it comes to who you are. You have had fair share of experiences, of life lessons, and you've seen a lot. No matter your age, energetically you are for sure an old soul. Yeah, I've been really drawn towards this card here, and the turtle, right? I think it's called turtle. And they become pretty old, right? But for me right now, this is not so much the age, it's more so the experience, and or even like the soul journey. And your future spouse is really gonna love how strong you are. Also with the Magician right here, right? The Magician is also such a powerful card. And this is such a huge difference when it comes to you and your future spouse's previous partners. Not only are you secure, you are also extremely powerful within yourself. You know who you are, you know where you're coming from. It's not like something casually can just knock you, off of your feet. You've seen a lot. You don't forget where you've started, and this power and strength that you are is noticeable, and it's something that your future spouse is gonna find very attractive. I'm hearing very even like sexy, and they're really gonna love it about you. This is definitely something that their previous partners have lacked. It's kind of like your future spouse, they could have been in a relationship with someone who constantly needed validation and, yeah, confirmation. And of course, it's great to, hear from our partner that we're doing great. I'm sorry, I can't talk. That we're doing great, that we look great today, we are doing fine, and so on, that they love us. But I feel like with their previous partner, it was a very unhealthy relationship in a way that the other person constantly needed to hear good things about themselves in order to feel good, and they depended their own worth to their partner, to the amount of affection or, yeah, affirmations that their partner gave them. And of course, it's great to get those things in a relationship, but our worth, or, yeah, our self-love is so much more than just, what our partner tells us. It's an inner journey. It depends on our inner relationship with ourselves as well, and we should not depend this to, like someone else to do the job for us and make us feel good. If we allow, or if we just give someone else the responsibility for making us feel good, obviously we will be disappointed, right? And that's not what it's about. And I feel like this person has done this to an extent here. Let me see. Okay, this is a very random message here, but your future spouse is also gonna really love to give you gifts because you are someone who's very grateful. I feel like they could have been in a relationship with someone who was not thankful and just constantly wanted to get more and more. And this may be something that, yeah, has really annoyed them, because they may have like given more than they received, or let's say they may have, yeah, made this person a gift, but they weren't really that thankful for it. They thought it's like it's their job. And of course it's great to get gifts from our partner, but we should still always be thankful for the effort that has been put into it, right? And we should definitely every now and then give back. But I feel like it was a like one-way street, so to speak. It was just them giving and the other person not receiving, yeah. But look at this, my dear. You have the Lover's card. You have the Two of Cups. So the love you guys share, it's today my heart space is so open, and I just love this energy so much because it's visible that you guys, you share so much love for each other and you cherish each other. Of course, relationships are not perfect, and we will not only have our arguments with our partner, but obstacles will happen, right, in life and in partnerships. But it's great to have a beautiful foundation of love. Let me get you guys some oracle cards to dive a little bit deeper. For my dear pile 2, once again I was about to say pile 1, so maybe some of you guys have been really drawn to pile 1 as well. For my dear pile 2, let's see. How are you going to be different from their previous partners? Okay, let me see. Too many cards. Only one, please. Only one card? Oh my goodness. Cards are everywhere. I only want one, please, for my dear pile. Yeah, I feel like your future spouse has a lot to say. For some reason. Okay, as you can see, 3 cards are definitely too much. For my dear pile 2. How are you gonna be different from their previous partner? Okay, alright, we have 1 card. We have cool your emotions. Let's get you guys one more oracle card from the archetype oracle to see what makes you so different from their previous partners. 1 card, please, for my dear pile 1. What makes them different from their previous partners? Okay, all right. And we have mediator. Yeah, look at this. This card is really emphasizing the kind of energy that I picked up on. It says gift for negotiation, fairness and strategy in personal and professional life, respect for both sides of an argument. This is the balance that I'm talking about. You are gonna have a very fair connection with each other. It's an equal give and take. It's a very mutual energy. Once again, something that this person has lacked for sure in their previous connections. Their previous partner could have been someone who just thought about, you know, like what they wanted and not really what your future spouse also wants, or they weren't really that able to like give love as well. They just wanted to receive all the time. With you guys' relationship and how you're gonna be different from their previous partners is really easy explained. You see you see each other as equals, and the way you approach the relationship is very balanced. A lot of respect for each other's opinion, respect for each other in general, fair treatments, which means if, let's say, your future spouse gifts you something, you are gonna think about gifting them something as well. Not because they wanted to, but because you just want to also show them that, yeah, you also would like to express your love through that way. So it's not only they're gifting you something, but you're also gifting them something bad. Or let's say someone cooks dinner today, something very delicious, and then you would like to also, you know, show a very great gesture back to them. Very balanced, very harmonious here. Yeah. In general, also with cool your emotion, it just feels like this is not gonna be, yeah, this really reminds me, this oracle card reminds me of, I think, the first message that I got, that they could have had relationships in which their partner was all about like drama and so on. With you guys, this is not the case. It just feels like a very calm relationship, a little bit zen. Yeah, the Temperance card is definitely the card to go when it comes to you guys. Also healing. This can be a very healing energy towards each other, towards the relationship. Yeah. You know, this is the kind of relationship in which you bring out the best in each other because you value each other, and you show it through your action, through your words, small gestures. It's in your space. And I feel like this is something that your future spouse has lacked in their previous ones for sure. Maybe even you. For some of you guys watching this, maybe you have also lacked this. You have also experienced relationships in which there was a lot of disbalance and, yeah, chaos. I'm hearing maybe even chaos. So, my dear pal 2, Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you guys. And if there is something you would like to share with us, definitely feel free to do so. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. And if you subscribe, don't forget to hit the bell because otherwise you will not know when I upload new pick a card or even candle wax reading. Also, my dear, if you would like to get further information regarding a personal reading with me, you can of course feel free to email me. Lastly, my dear, if you would like to connect with me more on Instagram, my channel's Instagram account is in the description box down below, and of course I invite you there as well. But yeah, my dear pal 2, take care, my loves. Hey pal 3, welcome to your reading, my dear. Now let's see, how different are you from their previous partners? So let's give you guys some shuffle and let's start straight away with your reading. First of all, my dear, I'm gonna start with some tarot, and at the end of the reading, we will also dive a little bit deeper into the topic with some oracle cards. That's enough. So for my dear pile 3, let's see. How are you gonna be different from your future spouse's previous partners? Let's see. Oops. Too many cards. They're everywhere. For my dear pile 3. The first card is the Knight of Swords. For my dear pile 3, how different are you gonna be? Alright. We have the Six of Swords. Let's continue. For my dear pile. Wow, a lot of swords energy. Look at this. We also have the Four of Swords here. For my dear pile 3, how different are you going to be from their previous partners? Page of Cups. For my dear pile. Alright, okay. So we have the Knight of Pentacles here. The other cards fell on the floor. Let's see, for my dear pile. We also have the Seven of Wands, and let's get you guys one last card. For my dear pile 3, let's see. How different are you gonna be? Okay. And we have the Ace of Wands with the Emperor. Interesting. A lot of fire combination here. So, my dear pile 3. Let me start with the first energy that I picked up on here. Okay. The first thing that I'm seeing, which makes you very different from their previous partners, is, okay, very simply said, it's your personality. What I'm seeing is, it could be the case that in the past, your partner, your future spouse, could have gone for people and they could have had some like shallow motivation. Let's say maybe they dated casually, like because someone looked good and they thought like, all right, why not? And the personality, but this is, once again, this is for sure kind of a evolution that they made. You know, they have learned from it. They have definitely thought through what's really important in a relationship, and I'm gonna come this in a minute. But in the past, they may have put a lot of importance when it comes to appearance, and they may have not really thought about, well, do we actually match, like personality wise? Is this someone who, as an example, makes me laugh or understands me, respects me? Are we connecting on a mental level? Are we connecting on a emotional level? This may have things, yeah, this may have been things that they didn't really think about because it was more shallow. It was more about like looking good with each other, you know, those things. Like, for some reason, it's really reminding me of like, you know, like on social media, like when couples like portray themselves in a certain way to look good. it's kind of like this. It's coming through here. However, if I'm telling you that they have learned such a huge lesson from thinking that way, you really have to believe me, because the way they approach relationships now is so much different. This person used to be with people who may have looked good regarding like beauty standards. However, their personality was, I'm hearing, crap, and they have felt like so stupid and ridiculous for, when it comes to how they, yeah, or what kind of partners they may have chosen, and they have learned big time from it, my dear. Like, now this person would never ever do it again. They have had this revelation, and they have definitely learned the hard way, but they have learned that there is more to a relationship than that. And now it's, of course, I mean, if we talk about the physical connections, or let's say as human beings, we are living in a 3D reality, right? And of course, for a lot of people, the physical aspect is important. The physical attraction is important because most of the time it's the first thing that people notice on each other, of course. But they have learned that, okay, of course this is also important, but there are things that are so much more important than that. Because I'm hearing they thought like, what's it good, to have a beautiful partner at home, but like literally not being able to communicate with them, to love with them, to understand each other, to love each other. Like, what is that good for then? To just be with like an empty shell. I'm hearing like an empty shell. And this person is not looking for an empty shell anymore. They're looking for a precious pearl. And this means someone that they really connect with on so many levels. And this is one thing, okay, that was a pretty long introduction, but it's important to understand where your future spouse comes from and what kind of an inner journey and growth, all right, they have done as well. And I genuinely believe that for some of you guys, if you are thinking like, why have I not met this person yet? It's because you are meant to meet this version of them and not the other version that was just, I'm hearing, very like programmed, but they now have grown out of it. So one thing that's going to be so different from you and their previous partners is your beautiful personality. That with you guys actually connect on a personal level. And this is something that's going to fulfill your future spouse so incredibly like much, because they're going to see how important that is. And I feel like this person, your future spouse, the emotional connection that they have, or that they're gonna have with you, right, is not gonna be something that they had in their previous ones, because the emotional aspect wasn't that important. And of course, you may ask yourself, like, how can that be? When we talk about relationships, it's all about emotions, right? But yeah, as we have seen, the kind of people they have been with, they weren't that maybe emotionally available. Or even your like future spouse, they could have not been emotionally able like to really function, to give and receive themselves. And this is why the universe has first made sure they go through this growth journey before you guys come together or reconcile. Maybe some of you guys are watching this and you already know this person, and you understand that this is someone who used to, not be very open for like emotional things, or they weren't really emotionally available. But as you can see, they have done the growth for sure, and they're gonna value you so much. They're gonna value so much your inner beauty and your external beauty as well. But they're gonna see that the fulfillment in a relationship is genuinely connected to, the personal connection two individuals have. And that requires the emotional aspect, but of course the mental aspect as well, right? And the physical one, of course, which is the Ace of Wands being here. And what I'm actually hearing, yeah, also with the, yeah, what I'm hearing for you guys is that you guys are gonna have a great, like, intimate connection. It's better than the intimate connections your future spouse had in the past. This is something I'm hearing. With the Ace energy being here, it could be the case that you haven't had a lot of like experiences so far when it comes to, you know, your sexuality, or just in general, you know, being intimate with a partner. Maybe some of you guys even never had any at all. But if you, some of you guys had, I feel like there's like this pause. Like, Ace is all about new beginnings. It just feels like you may have not had, or you weren't really that active, let me put it that way, for a very long time. And coming together with your future spouse, it's kind of like reawakening this side on both of you guys, okay? But for sure, what I can see when it comes to how different are you gonna be when it comes to, you know, like their previous partners, the intimate connection between you guys is more genuine and fiery. It's all about exploration, yes, but it's also about a deep connection. It's not only about getting satisfied and then going about, you know, your life, or, you know, your day, whatever. It's really about cherishing the intimate time that you have with your partner. And once again, I feel like in the past there could have been relationships in which it was more so shallow. It was just about getting satisfied and that's it. But that's not what's coming through with you guys. With the Four of Swords being here, what I can see for sure, and this is another major aspect of you guys' relationship, is that you guys are gonna have a very healing connection. So, you know, sometimes we meet people and their company just feels so wholesome or so uplifting. Of course, we will always have arguments with like a partner, because that's just a part of a relationship. Life is not like that. Life is not perfect, and we're definitely not living in a perfect world. It's all about duality. It's all about the whole experience. And when we talk about relationships, the dark times belong in it as much as the bright times. However, what I'm seeing is that the difference between you and their previous partners is that when you guys go through different things in your relationships, or like in life in general, you work as a team. Something that was definitely missing in their previous relationships, there is no doubt about that, because their previous relationships were really shallow. And with you guys, you are holding hand in hand, and you're going through whatever comes across you guys, and you're gonna go through it together. A lot of support, something that's gonna be very different from you and, you know, the previous partners, is the kind of support that you give your spouse, but also the support they're gonna give to you. You need to understand that your future spouse has made a lot of development and growth, all right? And the way they approach this relationship is really different than from their previous one. Not only because you are very different from their previous partners, but also because they have done work on themselves. And it's kind of like the illusion has fallen, and they really are seeing clear now. Now what's important to them in a relationship is so much different from what it may like used to be, or what they're looking for in a relationship right now is so different from the past, okay? I also see that you guys are going to be very protective of your relationship. And I feel like in the past it wasn't the case, not only because they did not really had that stable connections, but because, you know, they may have been a little bit impressionable. As an example, if someone talked or said something about their partner, it may have made them feel some type of way. But now they have so much trust within themselves and also in their partner that they're not just gonna just believe everything. They're really gonna protect this connection and make sure that outsiders cannot interfere with this. Maybe this is even your energy as well. Maybe some of you guys are in some kind of an environment in which people, like, they are just in your business, and it's important for you to make sure that they are kept at a distance. This is something I'm seeing in your relationship for sure as well. And it's also very different from how they went about their previous relationships as well. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. What's really beautiful about your guys' relationship in comparison to their previous ones, if something happens, you're not gonna just throw everything away and that's it. No. You're gonna take each other's hand and you're gonna work through it actively. You're gonna all be about moving forward, trusting and believing in the journey, in each other. And yeah, also with Nine of Pentacles being here, I feel like this person has not had the kind of fulfillment in the relationship that they have with you in their previous ones. Yeah, emotions were not really that important. It was more so about, yeah, external values or external things, more so than internal processes or an internal state, such as feeling happy in a relationship. It was more so about looking good in a relationship, you know. Let me see. Actually, let's get you guys some oracle cards to get a little bit more information about this. For my dear pile 3, how are you guys gonna be different from your future spouse's previous partners? Let's give it one more shuffle, my dear pile 3. All right. Okay, let's see. Let's see. For my dear pile 3, how are you gonna be different from them? We have, yeah, look at this. Embrace the flow of life. This is reminding me a lot of the Six of Swords. Not necessarily because of the meaning, but on this illustration, we have this girl who's like on a boat, right? And those birds are kind of leading the way. She doesn't know, let me show you guys. She doesn't know where she's heading towards, but she's trusting, right? At last, she's moving forward. That's what's important. She's kind of literally trusting the flow of life. And with the Hanged Man being the overall energy here as well, it's all about trusting and believing in the divine and believing in ourselves and our journey. And what I'm seeing is that when it comes to your guys' relationship in comparison to their previous ones, the way they approach it is so different. So different. Maybe this person in the past used to like have this urge to control certain things in the relationship or like where the relationship is heading. But now it's all about letting go. It's all about allowing things to unfold naturally, because you have trust in each other and you have trust in the relationship. A very different approach. Yeah. Let me get you guys another card. For my dear pile 3, let's get you guys a card from the archetype from the archetype oracle card. For my dear pile 3, one more shuffle. All right. Okay. Let's see. What is different about you when it comes to their previous partners? And we have the goddess archetype. The feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. Okay. So this has nothing to do with your gender, all right? This is just energy here. What I see is that, first of all, with nature being here, for some reason, it's reminding me of life, right? And we have literally life force there as well, and it's coming back to this card. If I'm gonna explain to you guys how their previous relationship was, let me show it like that. It's kind of like, think of a dog owner who's like constantly pushing the leash to control their dog, right? Like this need of, and I don't mean it like in a weird way, it's just kind of for me to show you guys what I mean. It's all about being in control, you know, and not only in a relationship, this could have been something that your future spouse, a mentality that they had in the past, that they always had to like control anything, like whether it's in their like finances, they always had to like control it, or in a relationship, they always needed to know where it's heading. But now it's all about surfing on the ocean. You literally don't know if the next wave is gonna like take you under the water, right? But you are trusting the process. You're trusting and enjoying the experience of surfing and the breeze, the waves, the ocean, the water. You see the picture? On one hand, we have the dog imagination, the picture, and then we have this one. Very different approaches to life. One comes from a place of lack, fear, need to control. The other person is all about, the other scenario is all about trusting. With you guys, it's all about this wave. It's all about allowing the flow to go. And this is also something that you're gonna learn, not only your future spouse, but also you. You're gonna learn to also trust in this relationship as well. And let me tell you, this is actually something that both of you guys have to experience when it comes to your life journey. It's happening on purpose here. And one thing that, this is so interesting. Look at this goddess card. I mean, there's so much like beauty. It may not really say beauty, but for some reason, I am hearing beauty when I'm looking at this picture. This is like the wholesome beauty that nurtures our soul and brings us so much energy. It's so different from the kind of beauty that your future spouse looked for in their previous partners. Previously, it was all about literally appearance. All right, this is what beauty is. But now what beauty is to them is so much more. It's the connection. It's the other person's energy, mind, spirit, soul, emotions. You see what I'm saying here? This relationship is gonna be so different, you guys. Like, so different from the relationships they had. And they and you as well, you deserve a kind of relationship, okay? This person has done a lot. They have come a long way in order to be able to have such a relationship. And the reason for that was definitely previous relationships, which were kind of like a tower moment and really destroyed their like past beliefs of what it is that they wanted in a relationship. And now they have a whole different like view on that. And it's beautiful. And once again, I'm hearing, I need to tell you guys that this is what you deserve. Yes, you deserve this. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to have a partner who uplifts you, who supports you. Everything is for a reason, and the fact that I'm being pushed really to say these things shows me that some of you guys may at times question that. But don't question yourself. You are this goddess archetype, alright, no matter your gender. The universe is flowing through your veins. You are pure consciousness. Don't play small, because there is so much about you which is pure love. So, my dear pal 3, please feel free to let me know how you feel about this reading, and if there is something you would like to share, definitely feel free to do so. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't, and if you would like to get further information regarding a personal reading with me, you can of course feel free to email me. Lastly, my dear, if you would like to connect with me more on Instagram, my channel's Instagram account is in the description box down below, and of course I invite you there as well. But yeah, my dear pal 3, take care, my loves.